Okay, we are live here. Welcome, everyone. My name is Jennifer Clarke, and I'm here with my mom, Elke Clarke. Oh, no, you go for it. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, and I'm Elke Clarke, the mom, the partner.
Partners in crime for Zazzle coaches. And welcome, everyone. We've got some people who have popped on live. We can see your comments in the comment feed here. And so we love for you to comment and interact with our topic today. And as you can see by our names here, we are Zazzle expansion experts. Elke and I started our Zazzle stores in 2007, and Elke, at that point in time, wanted to make sure that her business was viable and working for her, and realized that there were certain strategies that needed to be put in place, and then ended up creating the 5 strategies, which we now teach in our Profit by Design Academy coaching program. And I learned those 5 strategies from her when I was first starting out on Zazzle as well. And because of those strategies, her and I became extremely successful on Zazzle. And now we teach people exactly what we did to become successful and follow in our footsteps using our proven plan that we've created now. Yeah. And today's topic, is we are covering what kind of Zazzle designer are you? Because we love hearing everyone's stories of where they are in their journey and why they came across the Zazzle platform and what type of designer they are. Because everybody has a different background, comes from a different walk of life, and it is just so wonderful to see all the different types of people who've decided to create an online business with Zazzle. Yeah.
I like it too because, okay, so just so you know, poor Jen, she's suffering terribly from allergies today. And so she's being a real trooper. But we want to know, not only sort of what your skill sets are, and, are you a young person who wants to travel? Are you a stay-at-home mom? Are you a mom who has small kids who wants to figure out what she can do for her future, which is what I did when I first started on Zazzle, so that I could build my business and still, get my income that I lost when I wanted to stay home with the kids. Or are you ready to retire, etc. But the other thing is what kind of person are you, right? We're introverts, and we like working at certain times of the day. We're not so great with 9 to 5, but we're incredibly successful and incredibly productive and incredibly gifted in the sense that we have things to contribute, but we just didn't fit in the mold. And it was just overwhelming for us to not be able to just work when we wanted to, and take time off when we wanted to. And so Zazzle just one of those platforms where the print on demand technology and the business plan just suited us so much more. Plus, as I said, we're introverts. We were so happy just to not to talk to people. We just wanted to work online, etc., and do it at our own speed and pace and wherever we wanted to. So we want to hear from you about that too, because that is the thing lately, is there's a lot of introverts out there that are going I can actually do a business that works for me, not just because I'm a stay-at-home mom or something, but it's also just your personality that fits this business model really well. And so we're here to hear exactly how you feel like Zazzle is going to be the thing for you. And I'd love to, we just want to hear that discussion. The other couple of videos that we've done, a lot of it was talking at people. And in this one, we want to have a lot of interaction. So please put in the comments things and ask us questions. And how does it fit for someone who's an introvert? How does it work? And how does it work if I'm a stay-at-home mom and I only have between their nap time to do work? Is it possible, etc.? We want to hear those kinds of questions so we can answer them.
Yeah, so we'll wait for some people to talk in the chat here. But in the meantime, I wanted to say that we've just had so many different clients of ours who have been part of different experiences in life. And actually, one of our clients just recently in this past summer was able to completely convert into a online creative designer and entrepreneur. She does, I think, a couple other things on the sides besides Zazzle, but the big push of her being able to quit her 9-to-5 job was because she was part of our Profit by Design Academy coaching program, and then really dedicated and devoted her time to creating her online business. She has 4 young kids, and she is super mom. And so the reasoning behind her really wanting to strive towards creating this online business was so that she could stay at home and be with her kids. And the fact that she had made that possible was really amazing through our coaching, and then the structure that she created on her online business with the implementation of our 5 strategies. And then another person who we've just recently coached as well, she is in the process of retiring her husband. Her husband can't work anymore, and he is unable to work. And so her drive towards her business, and the reason why she wants to make so much money online and create an online business, is so that she can provide for her family, not only her younger kids, because she's in an older stage of life, but her husband, who now is older himself and is retired and then cannot work. And just having that, more than just a retirement pension that comes in, to be able to travel and do things and go out for dinners and just live life, and not a huge luxurious lifestyle, but, just a comfortable lifestyle as well. And so we have some really...
And I was just going to say, like, we talk about them, but we can actually name them because, first of all, Lorena, she's been with us for a long time, and we've done several interviews with her. And if you follow her on Instagram at LD Design Loft, then and also just watch our YouTube video, and the link in the chat below, or sorry, in the description below. But yeah, you can just see her journey. We interviewed her a couple of years back, and then we just recently, Jenna interviewed her again. And you get really inspired because, like, she's just super mom, but it was super helpful to be able to get that business training and coaching from us, for her to finally go like, okay, this is how it's going to happen, because there's so much on her plate, and also just having the short amount of time that she can devote to getting this to switch from her just being busy with 2 different jobs plus family, to all of a sudden making her online side hustle her main source of income, which is awesome. And then Gree, who is in Norway, and her husband was traveling the world on these cruise ships, not cruise ships, tankers and stuff. And so she basically ran the family, had her 2 sons grow up like under her watch, while her husband was always away. And she wanted to do something where she wanted to just say that she could make a business on her own. She didn't just want to be the mom. And then unfortunately, some health issues caused her husband to retire early. And fortunately now, that income that she built up, because she's now at like a very high level of earnings, is now the thing that's supporting them, which is awesome. And so we're super excited to be able to have that many different diversified people all over the world who are benefiting from this in certain areas of their mom adventure that they're on in their own lives, I guess you can call it.
Yeah. And I was actually also talking about Susan, who is part of our...
Yes,
so it's interesting because we have a lot of different stories from different people. But yeah, Susan, her husband just can't, he's just retired, and she wants to be retired herself and live the retirement lifestyle. And you need to do all the fun things when you're older, and just have a lot of, things that you want to still experience in life and not have to work when you're older ages. Yeah. And then who else did I want to cover? It's just really interesting, the way that people have come. There's a woman who's just recently come into our coaching program, and she's actually signed up for one of our masterminds that we're doing in October. And there are still spots for that for people who are part of the Profit by Design Academy coaching program, who want to enroll in the mastermind to become move towards silver seller from being a bronze seller. So obviously you have to kind of apply for that. It's not open to everyone here on YouTube and on Facebook. But she just recently joined the mastermind that's happening in the next couple of weeks. And she has a completely different business on the back end of what, fueled this whole passion of her wanting to start an online business. And now she's moved into the print on demand business, but she actually sells like gemstones on the side, which is really cool. And healing stones and things like that. And so to find that there's people who come from all different walks of life and background businesses. There's a lady who is part of our coaching program who has a really famous Instagram dog. And she moved into not only, doing promotion for her Instagram account and her dog, but then creating merchandise for her fans that she's created on her Instagram platform, which is very neat and different as well. And so we have a whole bunch of different people that we have communicated with, not only within our paid coaching program, but then in our free communities and here on YouTube as well. And just hearing their stories of where they've come from and what they want to do with their lives and how they want to achieve certain things. And then also talking about what kind of designer are you, if you are a creative or a non-creative designer as well, whether or not you even, like, maybe you're watching this live stream right now and thinking, maybe you're not cut out to be a Zazzle designer because you're not creative. Well, I want to just debunk that myth right now and say that it's not true. We have a lot of clients who are very successful, and we have the proof from their earnings, and they've told us and completely said up straight, I'm not a designer. I don't know how to use Photoshop. I'm not creative at all. Some people have to actually even ask, their spouses or some friends if they're, is this a good product or is this a good design in the back end before they come to our coaching program, because they don't have a creative bone in their body. But that doesn't mean that you're not able to design on Zazzle. And so if you are creative, which is awesome because people really associate with designing print on demand products, but it's moved into such a cool new area in terms of technology, where not only are you able to get access to resources and graphics online and pay for those, or even have, we never really dabble into AI, but there's so many things out there that allow you to be part of, Creative Fabrica or Canva or all these other programs that you pay a subscription fee, and then you can download graphics and then upload them to Zazzle and create your own, creative spin on them. And so it just opens up the possibilities for people who do not see that in their future, you know what I mean? Because it's not been something that they've been privy to or that they've been practicing. But there's so many opportunities now for you to expand your horizons and not be defined by what your past is. Excuse me, and I'm going to cough. Just have to.
That's actually the cool part is some of our very top designers that are on the Zazzle platform right now, they actually had no design ability at the very beginning, and still really don't. They just know how to use the resources that we provide really well, and they're good at marketing. And that's one of the things you have to remember is Zazzle's not a hobby. Zazzle's a business, and that's where a lot of artists fail when they come to Zazzle and they go like, oh, my art sells online, or they sells in galleries or whatever, and then they said, okay, well, I'll just put it on Zazzle and see what happens. And then they're disappointed because they don't know how to market themselves to the Zazzle customer. But when they do, when they come into our training and we teach them how to do it, because Jen and I both are very artistic in our backgrounds and we sell art online through Zazzle, we then obviously can help them get that leverage. So like even someone who, you might know Lisa Audette. She's a really great Canadian watercolorist, and she's on Zazzle now because of us. She came to us and she got the help. And there's also all these other fantastic artists that have gotten our help, and they've really leveraged what they have because, it is unique and special, right? And usually what you do when you're an artist, if you have things online or in stores, etc., then some sort of a licensing agency helps with that marketing. Whereas if you're just doing this on your own, then that's missing. And so it's really important to know that you can't do it really without the marketing and the business savvy of what the Zazzle customer wants. And so it's really great that we were able to help all these people go from going like, oh, I guess nobody wants my stuff on Zazzle, to, oh, I just didn't realize I had to position it this way. And so that's super exciting for us to be able to say that, hey, no matter where you are, or like whether you're creative or not, if you do it on your own, you're probably, and if you're getting success, great. If you're not, then there's a need for some help, because it could mean that it's actually not true. It's just that you're not able to get the things put together properly in the 5 strategies in order for you to succeed on the platform.
Yeah, no, it's very true. And we have some people on live with us. So let's see in the chat. I've wrote in the YouTube chat there to get people, a little bit inspired to just comment and say their piece on where they are in the background of Zazzle and everything. Because it really is helpful to, and then anyone watching this as a replay as well, you can comment on this video and we will respond to you, because we love hearing your story and where you're coming from, and then also what would inspire you. And maybe it's just the matter of saying out loud, hey, I'm this type of person and I don't know if this is going to work for me, or I'm this type of person, is this feasible? There was a comment on one of our YouTube channels the other day, and I'm just going to bring this back in because we always forget, Elke and I, or at least myself, who we're speaking to, because we speak to so many different people in terms of their Zazzle journey, if they're just starting out, if they're brand new, if they've been on Zazzle for a while, if they're advanced. And so I sometimes forget that some people even have this, like the smallest of questions, and I don't want to say it the simplest, but a very simple question like, can I upload my photography on Zazzle? Is that a thing, right? Because there was a comment on one of our YouTube channels, videos, that said, I am a photographer and I take like nature, landscape, art photography. Is this a possibility for me to upload my artwork / my photography onto Zazzle and make money? And yes, it is a possibility for you. You just have to know the right way to put your products out there and put your artwork out there, or your photography, to make it, an intentional product, we call it, which means that it's a product that's serving a need for a customer, right? Because the world of print on demand it's an interesting one, because people can post whatever they want, right? Any type of artwork, any type of pictures, and put it on a product, and then whenever somebody buys it, it gets printed. And traditionally it was, clip art and things like that, because people didn't really know how to work it out, and people sort of associated print on demand with images that they found off the internet. But now there's so many amazing opportunities for art.
Which
I
is
know, by the way, illegal, yes. But now there's so many opportunities for people to become creative and actually create beautiful pieces of artwork with their artwork or with their photography, incorporating them into a design that will serve a customer. Because at the end of the day, each person that is on the Zazzle platform who is a designer needs to define their avatar and their niche, right? And figure out how how they are serving a certain type of customer. And that's where people get confused too, on why maybe they're not making sales, but they have a lot of products or they have a lot of designs. And the reason why that happens and they don't see the transaction of people buying their products is because they haven't served the need of the customer yet. And that's kind of bringing it back full circle to what kind of designer are you, right? And what do you provide to the Zazzle customer as a designer? And then independently, how do you work as a business owner, and what is your background in terms of the reasoning why, right? Like a stay-at-home mom and someone who wants to retire. And we really want to hone in on what it means by a stay-at-home mom, right? It's not that you can't go back to work, but maybe you're in the position where you would rather choose to be with your children and watch them grow up. And you can use your skill sets as a mom and motherhood to translate that into a potential viable business online on Zazzle, right? And use your knowledge of baby stuff or kid stuff and create baby or kid products. Or even if you have a passion for something completely different than being a mother, but you still want to stay at home, then you can use those passions and interests and translate that into a Zazzle business as well, right?
Oh yeah, like we talk a lot about stay-at-home moms and that they know their niche market, which is young moms with small kids. But honestly, once you get onto the platform, you realize, well, this creativity can be, translated into so many other niches. And also some people, like there's a couple of really good designers that have been out on the platform since I started that, did the same thing. They wanted to stay home with their kids, but they're not focused specifically on small kids, mom stuff. Instead, they're everywhere. They're in both business, home decor, occasions, weddings, sports, games, you name it. They've got their hands or like fingers in each pot. And I think that's what makes the business itself, and that we call it, like most people go like, oh, help me with my Zazzle store. I just want to make a little bit of money. But what we always talk about is it's a business, and you've got to treat it as a business because there's more potential than you actually realize there is, right? Everyone starts because of a small goal, which is kind of interesting, but that's what you're currently aware of, that this is possible for you. It's just, let's just like make a few dollars on the platform. And then all of a sudden if you get the like information into your head, or you see some success, then you start to realize, well, this could be bigger than I thought. And I love that, because then you start to see the potential, like we do, and which we have actually achieved, in that we've created brands, we've created like dollars, we've created, like huge business skills on our part that we didn't even have beforehand, that can now be applied to more things than just running a Zazzle store. And I think that that allows you to develop as a person, and it makes it exciting, and it makes it feel like at the end of the day, you're not just paying the rent money or the mortgage. You're actually doing something that you've built yourself, and you don't know where it's going to take you. Like, there's a really cool example of this lady who has a cat that she called Grump, and she decided to do all these memes about Grumpy Cat, and it was just a silly, fun thing that she started out with, and it just took off. And well, it started on Zazzle, and now she's sold her Grumpy Cat license for millions of dollars. You do not know where things start, if you start, where things are going to go. And if you're excited about that, then you should be sort of in our camp, so to speak, because yeah, you can easily just go and pick a few graphics and put them up on the Zazzle platform, or you can do AI, or you can put up your photography or whatnot. But if you want to brand yourself as a photographer, or you want to expand your ability to sell as a recognized artist but want to become more international, if you are a stay-at-home mom who just wants to actually recreate her six-figure income that she just, or seven-figure income that you just lost because you decided to be a mom for a while and the corporate wasn't cooperating like I was in my situation, then this is a great platform for you, right?
Yeah.
And we also talk about people who want to retire and travel, etc. And the reason we do that is because they just don't want to have that, spend that much time on the internet or on the computer. They just want to enjoy their life. And that's the second part of all of this, is it's not what kind of designer are you, it's like what kind of life do you want to live, right? So we want to actually bring it to that and go like, do you want to be working all the time? No. Do you want to make enough money to support yourself so you're not scared that you don't have a future? Like you want to do that. And like, it's obvious, right? And can you feel good about something that you're like literally doing something that's cool as well? Because I love Zazzle just because it's also a green company, right? Because basically they're not wasting. You only print the product when someone buys it, and you get this ability. Like, they have all these initiatives where they're always helping people in all over the world. I see that we have someone here from Kenya, and there was this the Aphrodillo shoes is one example. They're just years and years of initiatives where they paired up with people both in North America but also in developing countries, where they got people who are entrepreneurs. They were helping them use the platform to help them expand and create viable income so that they could get themselves out of poverty. And that just resonated with me so much. So even though I'm on that same platform and I'm working, I can actually design on some of these products and help that other set of people that are developing this in another country like Kenya or whatever. I can't remember where in Africa this particular shoe company was located. So sorry about that. But yeah, so like to help people out like that inadvertently, like sort of indirectly, is so cool. And also being part of that ecosystem is just something that makes me feel good, which I hope that other people resonate with that as well.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Yeah. Yeah. Then I also really agree with that as well, in terms of just the opportunities that Zazzle gives other people, in terms of just even, giving other people jobs as well. We actually had one of our clients, and just talking about Zazzle in a general sense of the company, that they're just a really great platform to work with. We had a client of ours, a coaching client, and her husband actually, because she lived in Redwood, or lives in Redwood, California, or where they were based, or they had this manufacturing company outside of where they were living. And the gentleman, her husband, worked with Zazzle, and they just had raves about how they treated their staff and everything, and that they were just very friendly. And, it's just a really good working community, right? Because as Zazzle designers, we don't always see that, especially if we're all over the world, right? And Elke and I are in Canada. We have clients in Australia, in the UK, in Europe, and Asia as well. And so, seeing the fact that we're working for a company that's based in the States, and we don't always see the things that they always do, right? To make this whole thing work for us. And just Zazzle is a really great company that helps its designers, not only the customers who come to the platform, but then also the Zazzle designers. They're always making sure that our designing and selling experience is the best that it could be. And they're always looking out for us for new products to, post on. And it's just a really wonderful community in terms of just working on the Zazzle platform. That feels really wholesome and really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I've visited their main office, and I got taken around and toured, and so yeah, it's lovely. And then I met all those people, and actually they helped give us reviews and testimonials for our books that we published. So they're super amazing people, and I love that they're still private. They're not on the stock exchange, so they can make the decisions that are best for their company, not for just the stockholders, which is awesome.
Tell us a little bit more about your story on why you went to Zazzle and how you were invited.
Well, back then, and I think they've got it again now, but I think back then it was just still growing as a company, and so they had what was called a ProDesigner, a very specific person that sort of looked after us, right? So we could talk to this person, contact them if we needed to. And I said, well, I'm going to be in the San Francisco for this conference. Do you mind if I come by? Because I'd love to see the business operations. She goes like, oh my gosh, yes, of course, that'd be awesome. And so when we got there, actually my husband came too, and we got a full tour. We got to see the big, huge camera that they used that was their developed technology that allowed you to just put the product in the middle. And then the camera robot would look all around and take all these pictures, so that each one of the products that you see online, where you can see all the different views and side shot and this shot without the model, obviously, but just so that all that technology was made up of all these different pictures that they put in the computer. This was a little while ago, right? So now everyone's going oh, of course. But back then that was huge.
Yeah.
It was space technology, because it was one of the first that really showed, they used that technology to show us how the products would look with the designs on them, because that was very much proprietary technology.
Yeah.
But then the funny thing is that then when I started meeting all the people, every time that she introduced me to someone else, she was like, oh, you're the monogram woman. Oh, you're the monogram lady. Oh, you're the one that why all our products are just monograms that we're shipping out. And I'm going is that a problem? But no, it was just a recognition that me as a little designer who was trying to make some money online to help support me and my family, I didn't realize the impact I was having all over the world, and how much I was affecting even the business on the Zazzle platform, which is awesome. Obviously, there's a lot of other great designers out there, but because of my history and the way I started out, I just really excelled at monograms. And that's one of the reasons why there are now so many monograms out there. And yeah, just because, you can do your own monogram, just don't copy mine. But the idea was that, back then it was more clip art and maybe artists and maybe photographers, but it was just sort of finding its way as to what Zazzle really sold. And I brought that leveled up in terms of what they, products were that had things on them. And the monogram and the text based designs, which I really love doing, is something that obviously started to take off. And because of that, more and more products were able to be brought into the marketplace and they're all applicable to adding a monogram, right? And I love that, because the main thing for me is not saying, oh, it's because of me. It's more because I didn't realize until someone sort of fed it back to me that this is the amount of impact I had on A, the business, B, other people around the world that I was serving with making these designs, and people were buying them. And that just kind of, oh yeah, that's right. This person has a pillow in their living room with my design on it. Whereas, for me, it was just like, oh, I made another $2 sale. And
Yeah.
so I love that. And I love that, being able to flip it around like that and realize that my business was important more than just to me, and
Yeah.
it served so many other people. And that's really where everything goes, right? Like Zazzle is where you can be served because you can design based on the templates that we provide as designers. And that's just so, like, it's a mind shift, and it was a big mind shift for me, and it just made, like, wow.
Yeah. No, I know it's really weird because I know you just said that I'm resonating with, oh, I made $2, right? And so
Yeah.
a lot of designers are really happy and excited that they made money, or they're upset that they haven't made money, or whatever the context behind it. But the fact that you made $2, personally, as Zazzle designers, we'd be more excited that we made money rather than also understanding that translated into, as you said, a design or a cushion for their living room that's now going to be in their living room for X amount of years, or a wedding invitation, even, because I'm in wedding invitation, right? And I sell thousands, and I've sold thousands and thousands of wedding invitations and save the dates,
Hundreds of thousands.
hundreds of thousands.
We're
And
almost like mid hundreds of thousands in terms of,
yeah. And thank you cards and everything. And just to think about how many people were invited to certain weddings based on my designs is just really, really cool. And so if you feel the need to, switch the perspective, if you are on Zazzle and then you just forget about that sometimes, this is us bringing it back to you and saying that you're making a difference in people's lives. The reason why they're buying your products is because they're attracted to it, and it'll make them happy. It will translate into some sort of emotion, some sort of event or thing, right? And it's just the reason why they're buying it is because they love it, and it creates an emotion in the customer. And then you're happy because you got your $2, but the person is also happy, wherever it may be. And the coolest thing is that you can sell to everywhere around the world, right? And so you have clients, and all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, oh, somebody from Australia bought one of my wedding invitations. Now there's going to be a wedding in Australia because of my wedding invitations. So that's kind of cool if you get to that point, So yeah.
So so tell us, like, we're just gabbing on here, but we'd love to hear from you. We've got a couple people on, and you guys are just liking my glasses, which is fine.
We
Which
have
is
over,
fine.
I know.
Yeah, we want you to get, like, involved in the like excitement of Zazzle, because it's something. The most important comment that we always get that, like, floors us is, oh, I didn't even know Zazzle existed. Or
Yeah.
if you are on Zazzle, it's like, oh, maybe you can't make a lot of money. Yes, you can. And Zazzle's been around for a long time, and people ask, is it for real? And it's like, of course it's for real. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be able to do the courses, because when we have thousands of people all over the world doing the courses, and they're all making money. And one of the things that we just love is when we go online and check out the platforms, we go like, that's our student, that's our student, that's our students, and it's fun as being like proud mamas for all of our community. But it's also just going like, yes, it works, and yes, there's a lot of people making money out there, and it's just a nice like balance. It's not like the crazy hecticness of cutthroat Amazon, and it's not the mystery of Shopify where you're like, I did everything, but and I paid for the ads, but I'm not getting any sales. Or the weird Etsy stuff where they keep changing things and keep making you jump through some more hoops. And this is just like so fun. Zazzle is fun. And someone else said that, hey, love Zazzle. Cheryl said that. And it's like, yeah, exactly. And sometimes people think we're crazy because we go like, well, we made like, she said we made 394. Perfect. That's great. That's the beginning of more, right? That's what really is lovely, because then all of a sudden you realize, holy smokes, I just made $20,000 this month. How is that possible? Like certain invitations, certain single products can really floor you because you've done the work, you put the stuff out there, and then the customers are there. And then when you get these nice big payouts, you realize, yeah, this is a viable business, and I just got to get more of this, whatever I just chopped into there. because there's people buying every single day on the platform, and there's lots of money out there.
Yeah. We have a question here.
Comments. Awesome.
Nice. Yeah. So is Zazzle becoming harder to get into? On Etsy, the number of sellers has increased way more than buyers. I want to diversify, but I can do new listings on Etsy quite quickly and make money. Okay. Well, new listings on Etsy. Etsy is a very different platform than Zazzle. So it would be interesting to see if Amber and Rose Creative Studios, you're on Zazzle right now, or if you're just on Etsy. But Etsy actually, because I've been on Etsy and I've tried to sell on Etsy, and so has Elke, and we didn't see success from that. I don't know what your store is and what you sell and how successful you are. But in terms of, and if you are, then that's awesome. In terms of posting a listing, and also it depends on if you're selling digital products or physical products. But if you like, in terms of posting a listing, the structure is actually, I would say, almost even easier on Zazzle. But depending on what you have to sell, right? Because if you're an Etsy seller and you're selling certain graphics for people to buy, then on Zazzle you can't really sell your graphics. You would use your graphics to make products. However, if you're making like downloadable wedding invitations or something to do with where you would be creating somewhat of the same sort of product type, but on Zazzle, I would definitely take the opportunity to come on to Zazzle because first of all, there are two different platforms, which means two different types of customers. And then also Zazzle offers 100% customization. And so, for example, I've created certain wedding invitations that I design. And what I love about Zazzle is that I don't have to do the personalization. So I make one template, and then millions of people, if they wanted to, could buy my wedding invitation, and each individual one would be different because I've set it up as a template. Okay.
You're saying, yeah, so that's great. So yeah, you would love it, like if you just kind of got used to that, because if that's your niche, then that. And Zazzle now has a downloadable as well, and you get 15 some odd dollars. I can't remember if that's Canadian or US, but you'll get a very nice royalty off of that, which is comparable to like a average cost for a downloadable wedding invitation on Zazzle, or sorry, on Etsy. And then Kimberly says she's done. Cheryl says that she is asking, is it good to diversify your products? Absolutely, yes. You want to just move into different areas and see where you're actually, getting traction, as we call it.
Yeah. And so, but both of it, so we've got now Amber and then also Cheryl, and then there's Kimberly too. Anyone who, so I'm assuming that many of you obviously are on Zazzle, but you're not in any of our courses yet. And we're not really selling here on this.
Kimberly joined our Profit by Design Academy.
Kimberly, yes.
That's the other thing. I mean, we don't know everyone, but we make it a point to really get to know people if they let us, right? Because a lot of people are introverts. They're just kind of in the background. But Kimberly, I recognize your name. We do our best to check out and see who just joined, etc. And yeah, Kimberly, welcome. And you're going to love the Profit by Design Academy.
Yes, so she just joined. Yeah, she just joined in her course. Okay. And what I wanted to say quickly was that we've got some other people too who are starting out on Zazzle. And if you wanted more information on like how we can help you, because if you've started out seeing small amounts, it does seem much easier, which is Amber just said, which is awesome. Like it does seem a lot easier than Etsy, but the amounts I've made are so small. It's probably because if you're just starting out, if you know like for example, the Etsy algorithm, and now we're talking about Etsy compared to Zazzle, but Etsy is a very different algorithm and the different like tagging and keywords that are involved with Zazzle. And so there is a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to posting on Zazzle, but we do recommend, first of all, Zazzle just because of the flexibility of it. And also it's completely free. On Etsy, you have to list all of your listings and you have to pay for the listings and you have to upkeep them, make sure that they don't expire, all of those things. And on Zazzle, you can post a product for sale. And I have products that I've posted in 2007, when I first started, my products weren't the greatest. So that being said, my products from around 2010, 2009 are much better. And I still sell some of those today. Like this is 2024 now, right?
And if you've sold a product on the Zazzle platform, it's always live and you don't have to pay for it. Whereas, and Amber says that, yeah, now I thought I recognized the name of the studio. she's in our starter kit, which is like a little bit of a lesser course just to get you started. And yeah, if you're like yeah, definitely, please just come into you're obviously doing really well. Let's get you making even more money on the platform with the Profit by Design Academy. Obviously, we always say that we can't make any income claims, but you're just like, you tick all the boxes, right? You've already done some of the prep work. You're going to be able to just hit the ground running in the PDA, get that coaching aspect, live coaching when we do our weekly coaching calls, so that you can just ask those questions to see, what should I be doing to take the things from Etsy and apply them here so I don't have to do extra work, etc. And that we have a lot of clients that are like that, and they actually then close their Etsy shop down because they're actually making more money. We also have people who do minted, but minted is a little bit more like there's a bit more of a community there. So even though you'd have to be basically on the hamster wheel all the time trying to get your listings listed because you have to keep entering all these contests, but most people are converts. They all come to Zazzle, and we've helped people from all those different platforms come. And anyone who wants to keep their Etsy store going, then they pare down so that it's not so expensive to run, and it's also a little bit easier management and customer service wise. And that's what Zazzle loves right now, is that there's so many designers that are coming from these other platforms, and they're like elevating Zazzle, and we're getting more traffic to the platform because of the wedding stuff. But it's funny because I'm not really a wedding person, and I've made like a lot of money too. There's so many other products on Zazzle, 1,500 base products, I think. And then there's all the variations. And so there's just so much opportunity. And you even if you don't see it on the homepage, on the landing page, as to what might be selling, there's so much stuff that sells in areas you don't quite understand. But we help you open your eyes to those when we're doing the training. Okay.
Yeah. And then I wanted to say too, if you're on our email list, and this is at the time of this recording, so September 5th, we are offering an early bird special for the PDA, right? That's still on. And because they're actually, and I wanted to just say too, I just received an email while we've been on live here. So there is the early bird special going on for the Profit by Design Academy coaching program. So if you're interested, make sure you check out your email. Because of the deals that are going on there. We just actually sold another course to a person who actually said that she was watching our live stream videos here on YouTube. I recently watched your YouTube series and found the live streams super helpful and inspiring. I reevaluated what resource I had to enroll, and now I've officially jumped in, especially with the early bird bonus. I'm reading the email here. I decided it was better to take action now versus wait until later next time. I look forward to diving in. So we just want to welcome a new member actually this morning, which is awesome.
I love that. Well, welcome. The main thing that and I'm going like, okay, good. Because like I'm the architect Enneagram type. Like I'm the one that goes like, we need to plan. If you want to do this, then we need to get started. Like Jen always bugs me about that because she was like, Mom, stop pushing me around. Stop, like just relax. But I'm the one that's the push in the group, and I'm going like, okay, since you're started now, that's awesome, because now you can be ready for Black Friday. You can have a couple of products already, and Black Friday is really cool because people make tons of money on Black Friday on Zazzle. It's just crazy. Like, and then my brain starts going like this. And so I'm super excited.
Yeah,
and,
she's actually watching. She said, that's me. I'm happy to Brianna. I didn't want to say her name on live, but she's now here, and she wrote in the comment section, so Brianna joined, which is really awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's exactly the right thing. Like Zazzle's so great, but you've got to be prepared. It's a long game, right? So starting now in September gives you that 2 months window where you can build some products up that actually are doable sellers, like the intentional products that are targeted specifically to sell within 2 months. And so that's really the only issue, is that if you just want to contain, like you don't want to do a lot of social media or promo anywhere else, and you don't have to run ads or anything, but just to get into the algorithm and just get your products to percolate to the top, that takes about 2 months. So sorry, my buttons keep hitting my table. But if you have already resources that are like a Facebook group or Instagram portfolio or Pinterest or even another Etsy account, right, or a Shopify, you can direct traffic there, and you can start selling now, right? So, but in the meantime, you've had that leeway to really get the chance to sell when it's the biggest selling time of the year, which like billions of dollars change hands that day. One of the best sellers that I had during that time was an ornament, actually, and I made $10,000 commission within like 3 days. It was awesome.
Yeah.
US. For Canadian, that's like 15 grand. It's like, score. And I can't obviously say that this is going to happen to you, but when you make intentional products and they get found, just like on any other platform, there's a lot of, like, the volume is less than maybe what's on Etsy, but those buyers are more high end and they buy more.
Yeah.
Which is fun. It's kind of,
no, it's very true. It's very true. And that was a really cool experience for you when you made that much money in that month. We had a client, actually, and I'm going to get to some of these questions, but we are talking about our clients because we gush about them and we know all of their amazing success stories. One of our clients, I think it was last year during Christmas time. So this is Christmas time coming up. And if you aren't making Christmas products right now, you should probably make some Christmas products. But last year, we had one of our clients tell us that she had made more money in the Christmas season because of our training and what we told her to help her create intentional products than she did in her entire career on Zazzle, of being on Zazzle for 7 years. So each year she was making like a couple $100 and was almost about to throw in the towel. And then she came into our coaching program, and then she had made more in 1 month than she made in 7 years of being on Zazzle, which I can never claim anything, right? Elke and I can never say that this is going to happen to you, but this is proof from our students and our clients that things have happened for them, which is awesome. So Ali says, I always struggle to find out or figure out what to design on the products that people want to buy. Well, I mean, obviously that depends on what niche you're in and what's happening with, and I don't know what happened at Elke, what's going on with your store and what type of products you're trying to post for sale, or like depending on what niche you're in as well. And unfortunately, we can't really dive into what specific products you should be posting because this is not really like the proper scene for it, because we haven't like looked in your store and everything like that. But that's what we do in our Profit by Design Academy coaching program, is that on our weekly sessions, which we have calls in addition to the recorded modules, we go into people's stores if they've provided us links to their store or to their products, and we really dive deep into what's happening and how we can improve certain designs, right? And, you know, Elke and I have been talking about different products here, wedding invitations, then we have monograms, then we have, you know, sports equipment, then we have what X, Y, and Z. Zazzle offers so many different product types for you to start designing on that it's not a matter of figuring out what you need to design on. It's figuring out what your niche is and who you're trying to cater to, and really understanding and honing in on your avatar and your perfect customer. And we really talk about that in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program, where we do some exercises for you to figure out who you're catering to, right? Because you need to serve somebody, right? And serving somebody not is like physically serving them, but serving a need, right? A client or a customer wants a certain product because they're in need of something. And so how can you deliver that to them? And then just lastly too, because I don't want to make Cheryl feel like we haven't heard her, you can do downloadables on Zazzle now. So when you create a product type that's an invitation based product, there's an option for it to also be a downloadable version, which is highly lucrative.
Right? Yeah. Sorry. I said we're also expanding. I just realized, yeah, it's not even just invitations now. It can do posters and things. So
That's
it's really
sorry. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Mentioned Boost Bootcamp. Not sure exactly where you can share a teaser.
Well, yes, you guys are going to be in the Boost Bootcamp. So every year we do more and more things for our Profit by Design Academy coaching clients. This at the beginning of this year in 2024, we did a series of 7 workshops, and you're going to get those workshops as well. They were each about 2 hours long. We gave you like a ton of downloadables, and they were very specific, targeted. What do you do now in 2024 because of the changes that happened in Zazzle, so that you get right up to speed. And then the Boost Bootcamp, which is what you got a teaser for, is now this new thing that we decided to do, where as soon as you join, and we're going to like get sort of a cutoff as like mid-September, like so at the 13th of September, I think is the last day to join before you're a part of the Boost Bootcamp if you join during this campaign. And what we're going to do is basically spend 2 weeks with you in a Facebook group, in addition to you having full access to the Profit by Design Academy. And we're going to look specifically at everything that you've got. So your niche, your store, your targeted products, your designing, how you're promoting, what you want to focus on, and just kind of help you almost like a little mini business plan. We're going to give you a lot of feedback so that you can feel really confident then going in and starting to set everything up on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
For those that are already, active on the platform, and then for those that are brand new, because that's one of the comments we got. Like, we have so much to learn from you. Where do we start? How do we start? How do we get this going? Because the Profit by Design Academy is a cool program because it's not just you learning stuff, it's implementing. Like, we love implementing, and and actually we should say that more often, is literally each module you're implementing something. But if
Yeah.
you have to make a business decision about that, then you might be stuck, right? And so we don't want you to be stuck. And so not getting that advice from us right from the beginning, even though you can ask on the monthly calls or weekly calls, you're getting it sort of in a concentrated boost format to boost you
Yeah.
into the stratosphere.
I have the schedule up here, so I'm not going to share it on screen, but as Elke mentioned, it's 2 weeks starting September 16th.
Yeah.
And niche and store name, brand, product listing, Pinterest accounts, boards, earnings goals, mindset alignment, and then implementation for the next week, which is, as Elke mentioned, like where we're doing the work that we've told you, the homework that you're doing. And we will be actively in this private Facebook group for the Boost Bootcamp for people who signed up during this special, and going in and doing critiques for you. So Elke and I will be in there, and we'll either type it in, or we sometimes usually do a recorded video for you. And it's really interesting, depending on the homework, obviously. But for example, if you posted a product that needed a review, Elke and I will open that product up online. We'll screen record our video, and then we will show you what we do in the design tool, or what you can do to fix certain things based on, as I said, what the homework is. But we really interactively show you with a video the steps that we took to get to where we ended up, right, in the end result of the answer for your homework, which is really cool. So that's what the little teaser is, because she said, I'm not sure what that is exactly, so can you talk a little bit about it? So that's what will be happening in September for the Profit by Design Academy coaching program, people who are part of the new session here. It's not for the people who are part of the alumni of the Profit by Design Academy, but it's the people who are brand new, which is awesome. And we will be walking through you with the 2 weeks going forward. And it's really great. A lot of people have really found that refreshing and also very helpful, because it's not like we're holding your hand, but we're guiding you through certain of the parts of the material, because a lot of people also, they feel a little bit overwhelmed with everything that we have provided, because Elke and I are like our brains explode when we create content, and we just go above and beyond and give a lot of information. And so the Boost Bootcamp and the boot camps that we've done in the past for the Profit by Design Academy have been extremely helpful. All of the feedback everyone absolutely loves, because you're in this container of a 2-week session with not only us, myself and Elke, but then your fellow classmates and students, right? And it's just a really great bonding experience and a really great session for you to feel like you're progressing, right? Because especially if you receive a lot of information, it's an overload of information, you might feel overwhelmed. And that's why Elke and I really pride ourselves on the fact that this works, right? And we've done it in the past, and people have seen really great results from that.
Yeah, we did some tests, and now we said, let's just make it part of the PDA when people sign up.
Yeah.
What I also wanted to say is like I love that people said that, like Brianna said, oh, Kimberly, that's great. We're in this together. And
Yeah.
you're going to be part of a community. And like, we know people that started the training back when we started coaching, which was in 2017, and we still are friends with them, and we're still like a community, and everyone else knows each other. And I think that's also part of what is going on here, is we have just built this incredible designer community that just continues to help each other out, and they keep each other accountable, and they're bouncing ideas off of each other. And that's the kind of community we want to support. We don't just want someone who, sorry to say, like a lot of people just go like, give me what I need, and then they take off, right? We are here to empower women and men all over the world, but it seems like most people that we
Oh,
attract are women. But we do have our token guys that we just love to death because we're just they're just happy they're willing to join such a big group of women, and it's just been a fantastic experience. It's been life changing for us, even as coaches. Like we're not just sort of a churning mill of things. We're just like literally invested in people's success for years. It's awesome. I love it, and
yeah.
that's one is that we like something we get out of it, which is so awesome.
Yeah. And then Amber just said, sounds amazing. That definitely made my decision. So hopefully that means that you're just joining. This is awesome. This wasn't planned. This is like we're doing, this is awesome.
Okay, so it's just, I thought so. Okay, awesome. All right.
Okay.
When is the deadline? I get paid on the 15th. Or yeah, Canadian dollar. Oh, so you're in Canada. Totally get that. But guess what? As soon as you start making money, you get 20% more.
I know, it's awesome. I actually had to take a check into because I earned money on different Zazzle stores, and for whatever reason, one of them doesn't connect to my PayPal, and so I took a check in 2 days ago, and it's been a store that I haven't really kept in a while, and so it was this really nice bonus. It was $1,800 US, and it turned out to be like $2,500 Canadian, which is awesome. So any Canadians, fellow Canadians, it's just a really fun way to make some more money. Question.
Sure. Just email us at support@elkeclarke.com and we'll take care of you because yeah, you can still get in. And if you want to say that you want to get that extra bonus and you're committed, but you don't get paid till the 15th, we can work something out. Yeah, because you just basically before the 6th, which is tomorrow, you said you want to get in, so we'll help you out and we'll get you that extra bonus too.
Yeah.
But just send us an email saying that we told you that online, and we'll make it happen for you. Okay, but then you can pay on the 15th.
I'm just going to write the email here in the banner so that people can see that. So anybody who else is like just wondering and hasn't actually been active in talking, you can send us an email at support@elkeclarke.com and we can talk with you because maybe you just need a little bit more information on what is provided in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program, or just even, whatever situations, right? And so if you want to email us there, and then we can help you out, Cheryl, with getting the payment in at a later date.
So we have a coaching call that we have to hop off on too. So thank you so much for being here. I love that we had so much interaction today. This is what we're looking for. If you are watching this as a replay, don't hesitate to put a comment in and we'll get back to you. And we'd love to hear more about your struggles, your journeys, your excitement, and let's work together. Okay.
Yeah. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll see you all later. And if you just joined the PDA, we're looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday next week in our call. Bye.
Take care.